Put the drone in the air, I guess. And we'll see if I can get this thing to track this time this morning. I think we're set. I just need to untie and go, except I didn't pump the engine. Let's untie the bow first. Gangplank, and then we're it. Close the door and we'll be out of here. Well, the drone followed that. Okay. Let's see if it follows me. Well, we'll just go down here a short ways and go ahead and land it. Seems to be following it okay now, so. Well, let's bring it in.
Low battery warning. Landing. Battery level is low. Landing.
Well, a little bit too close there for comfort. Got the drone back in. It looked like it was doing a profile track okay, but the trace track wasn't working, or at least maybe I forgot how to use it. I don't know. A lot of stuff to remember. It's like this morning. Yesterday I mentioned that my solar for the Bimini panels were not charging the solar battery up like it should. Well, I prayed about it because I couldn't figure out what was wrong. I asked the Lord to show me what it was that's causing the trouble. And then I was sitting there this morning having breakfast, and all of a sudden it dawned on me that I had left this windshield up over the panels. Well, that's blocking one panel. And so it was that's what I was showing, about half the charge. So as soon as I removed that windshield and got it off there, well, then it was just doing fine. The moral of the story is I can't do that anymore. It's blocking the charge. I should know that, but sometimes you just get wrapped around the axle and forget what you're supposed to be doing. All right, let's slow her down here. We went through here okay last time, but I want to make sure and put that forward bimini back too. I didn't do that, but we'll do that after we get through here. And we'll favor the side here where the steep rocks are. I didn't see any problem coming through anyway, but we want to make sure. It looks like fish in there, so it looks like a good place to drop a line, but I can't do it right now. Little breeze coming up. Feels good, but that means more chop on the water too, so 25 feet. So there was a rock sticking up there. Still only 14 feet though, so I better go slow. And we'll get out here a little bit and then we'll shut everything down. All right, let's go close the bimini first. I'm trying to get positioned here to fly this drone. I'm trying to get this thing going, but it's a handful, tight quarters.
Takeoff. The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
well, it's following me for a change. And the light is enough here that it'll keep tracking, I think, so. Yeah, it's up high enough. Yeah, plenty high. Interesting little canyon here. And we're coming up on this shoal or area, shallower area, I should say. Fortunately, the drone is tracking me really well, so I'll just leave it alone. Got 52%, so it should be fine for getting out of the canyon. Didn't expect the canvas, the bimini, to be beating against itself there. But I need to get out of here before I can mess with it. It's too narrow in here. Bring her in. Well, you need to have the controller to do that.
Battery level is low. The aircraft will go to the home point in 10 seconds. Landing.
Had to cancel the return to home. It would have taken it right back to where I came from at the beginning of that canyon. That wouldn't have been any good. I guess my cockpit camera is out of memory or something. I don't know what's going on there. That's shutting down on its own because I'm running out of memory on some of these cards already. I don't know what I'm going to find back here. I may end up anchoring for today. There's one little islet up to the north side of it, but we'll have to look to see if it's something usable or not. I'm going real slow here because I'm not sure of depths. Yeah, see, it's already 4 feet, 6 feet. There was a big peak there, so I'm gonna have to go real easy in here. There were quite a few cabins on that entry. It looks like maybe even a camp there on one side. Yeah, there is a little island there. Let's go around and take a look at it. Need the extensions here to reach that tree. All right, let's see what I can get here. Do I go up through this mud here? It's kind of muddy. Well, I think I got it. I don't think there's, I got pitch all over my hands. And then I managed to cut my hand again. I need to wear gloves when I do this work. Kind of a unique tie up here. Well, we went 7.6 miles. Well, this turned out to be pretty good, actually. I can have a fire here if I want to. Let's go ahead and get the forward camera turned off. Yeah, let's see if we can get this fire going. Stubbed my toe yesterday, and it really is hurting me tonight. Even with sandals on. So we'll see how this goes. I know my big toenail is all black and blue, and I suppose I could lose it. I've been favoring it all day, and it seems to be worse tonight. Seems like injury has been the name of the game this trip. I did solve one big problem. One of my problems yesterday was I couldn't get the aft solar panels. Seemed to be not producing enough energy to regenerate the solar generator battery. And I couldn't figure it out. I just was puzzled by it. So I started trying to figure out what was going on, and this morning, I just asked the Lord to give me some insight. I was sitting at the table, I think I mentioned this already, having breakfast, and all of a sudden, a flash came to me, and it said, you know, you left the windshield up on over the panel. Oftentimes in the morning, I'll have that panel up so that I can see better. When I came in, I didn't put it back down. You know, if it's up over the panel, then it's going to shut that whole panel down. And that's what happened. I was only getting production from one panel. I'm just grateful the Lord gave me the insight to find it, because I was struggling trying to figure out what it was. I was going to go up with the multimeter and start checking voltages on each of the output for the panels. I, in fact, took the battery tester out. I was ready to go up there and do that after breakfast. Before I had to do that, we came up with the answers. Praise the Lord for that. Anyway, then we did 2 drone flights. I did drone flight departing. I did another drone flight coming out through the canyon. I was hesitant to do that because of its very steep and high trees, and I didn't know if I could get good enough video or if it would track properly, because if it gets shadows it won't follow. But I thought, you know, once in a lifetime you better try, so I did. Took me a long time to get everything set up, and then I came out through the canyon there, and it did track me very well. I moved it up to about 200 feet to make sure I cleared the trees, because you get concentrating on what you're doing and it's easy to run into a tree. I wanted it way above the trees, and that worked pretty good, and it tracked me. There was the sun angle was just right to follow me all the way through that canyon, even though it's very narrow. And then when I got out, I started running out of battery right away. And then it told me it was going to go back to the home point. Well, that was on the other side of that would have been in the water on the upper end of the canyon where we took off from. So I canceled the return to home. I canceled that so I wouldn't do that. But then it was running low on battery, and I had forgotten to put the handle on the drone. So to retrieve it, that meant I had to land it on the roof. I got it down, but maybe that was an earlier flight. I can't remember now. But I had two handles. Both of them end up being broken. So I glued the one that's my favorite one tonight, and hopefully that'll hold. But it keeps breaking. That's the second time I've glued it, and it just doesn't hold. So we'll try it again, and we'll probably fly in the morning to get a view of this site. We'll see how that goes, but I got to let that dry. And the plan is to move on tomorrow. It's also going to probably be raining in the morning, so I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. Probably should have flown the drone tonight, I guess. Too much going on. I already made 2 drone flights today. I'm worn out. The load of just running 3 to 4 cameras at a time is just very tiring. So there's a resistance not to do it because it's just so much work. Beautiful country. And I've had beautiful weather for the last few days. And I'm very grateful, again, that I got my solar generator back, because I use that for the internet. And in fact, tonight I'm going to try a phone call to my daughter just to see if that will work. I haven't tried that yet. I use Google Voice, and that's an over-internet call. So I'm hopeful that that will go through. Can't think of anything other. Oh, the other very interesting thing, if you do come up in this country, from what I can see, the charts, I don't know if they're as bad as Long Lake, Ontario, but they're not, the soundings are not accurate. I saw at least 3 points today where I came up on rocks and reefs that were not shown on the chart at all. In fact, it showed very deep depths, and it was quite surprising. I was out in the middle of the one bay coming over here, out in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden I'm seeing 5 feet. You know, I went into reverse immediately because I thought I'm going to hit something. Fortunately, it didn't get any shallower, but the point is that they're out there in the middle of nowhere. So there was no marker on there. That reef was not on the chart. And so be careful if you're up in this country. Do not trust the charts. It might give you an idea, but it's not going to be accurate. Let me grab a different piece of wood here and see if I can get something going. It's not burning very well. So we'll try this. I don't think this is very good, but we'll try it. All right, folks, it's getting pretty dark, so I don't know if you can even see. See if I can get the fire stoked up enough so you can see me in the dark. Well, I just got done talking to my daughter on the phone. I wanted to see if I could use the internet to make a phone call, just using Starlink. It worked. I had to change some settings on my phone to make it happen. Phone settings on use carrier only, and I had to change that back to using Google Voice instead, which is voice over the internet, and that worked perfectly. Very loud and clear signal. And I hung up and then had her call me back to make sure she could call this direction too, and she could. It gives another layer of safety in case of a problem. I have really good communication with the Zoleo and the ability to text with that. My little eyelet here tonight's working great. It's using my little fire pit hard to beat, this little device. Saves having to round up a bunch of rocks. Although I could have put it right on the rocks here, there's a fairly flat surface underneath. This seemed the better way to go because it gets air underneath and it gets hot. Technically today, the third of the way through the trip, and I've only moved 3 times, so I'm spending a lot more time at each site than I have in the past. Usually I've moved more than that. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to do whatever I feel like doing each day. Tomorrow it's supposed to be cloudy, chance of rain I think in the morning, but I don't know if that'll happen. I'll zoom in a little bit more on the fire and call it quits for the night. I'll probably stay out here a little bit longer, but I'm going to go get a Bailey's for my dessert for the day.